right, guys. So we felt compelled to come back to you guys and put another video together, just telling exactly what we're all about here at Harmony Village, what we got going, and the opportunities that we're extending to you guys. So basically what we do, so everybody can understand plainly, is we invest in agricultural companies in the Eastern Africa community, and then we bring those opportunities back home for you guys to actually partner with us to take advantage of those high yield returns. So in a nutshell, that's what we do. And David and I, we're just going to have a candid conversation here, talk to you guys, and just be genuine. So here it is. So the first topic we wanted to actually talk about was our transparency. So
Sure.
we're coming to you guys just to let you know, as far as everybody who already knows us knows, that we are honest. They know our integrity. They know our upbringing. They know where we've come from, and they know we have a reputation to uphold. So that's one of the first things. You got anything to elaborate on that?
Yeah, man, our integrity, our honesty, and not only that, me and my brother, we've had several businesses in the past, as we discussed on the past videos. So the businesses and that we had in the past, and the partners and the people that we've dealt with, they can tell you about our honesty and integrity, and where we're staying. We're truthful guys. We're 100%, and we have nothing to gain off ripping people off. So we've always been honest and straightforward with all our friends, families, and also business partners.
And that leads me into the next thing that I want to talk about, is the scams. There's just so many scams out here. Now, you're getting scammed everywhere you turn. I'm talking about, they got the social media scams where you can't even click a damn link. You can't even click a link without somebody trying to jump into your email and steal your passcodes and all of that type of stuff. I'm talking about, they got telephone scams. They got, you try to sell anything on Marketplace or Craigslist. They got
Auto trader. They're trying to scam you out your vehicle. They're trying to scam you out your products.
Yeah, so so coming from us, coming from the heart, we have no interest in taking your life savings from you or anything. No interest in taking $100 from you. So when we're doing our business, that's what it all goes back to: integrity. So if you guys come and partner with us, you can feel safe that your investments is golden, basically. So what I want to do, I want to touch on a little bit about the economy, and how in the economy in general, we experience a cyclical pattern. So, and what I mean by that is like a pendulum swing. So you got a boom period where you peak out, and then you come down a little bit, you peter out, and now you got a bust period. So
right.
Then after the economy gains a little momentum, it starts to go up, and then you have a boom period again. So you have a boom, bust, boom, bust. So that's the pendulum swing theory that we're talking about, that you probably heard many people speak so much about. But in the East African, specifically the East African agriculture sector, right now they have no technology, minimal technology. They're underdeveloped. So right now they're at the bust stage of that pendulum swing. Right down here at the bottom, there's nowhere for them to go up. So as Dave pointed out, agriculture in the arable land in Africa is where we need to be. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Africa has, I don't know if you all know it, but I'm quite sure you probably all do know it, but Africa has over 60% of the world's arable land. And what that means is, out of all the land in the world, Africa has over 60% of the farming land. So it's like, for us, it's like the natural thing to do is get into agriculture. Agriculture has been the only consistent sector since the beginning of time. Food sells consistently. No other sector sells consistently like food. So being that Africa has over 60% of the world's farmable land, it only makes sense for us to get into farming.
And especially with all the food shortages that's going on right now. In America, we know that there's a food shortage because we just don't have enough land and farmers with the know-how to maintain the amount of food supply that we need to have to maintain this population. But in Africa, there is, like you just mentioned, 60% of the world's arable land. And there is not only a food shortage in Africa, there is food insecurity. So that's the higher level up from a food shortage is food insecurity. So if we are food insecure in Africa and we have 60% of the world's arable land, all that's telling us is that the agricultural sector in Africa has nowhere to go but up. We just need some training. You know, we have a lot of farmers, like I think 80% of the people in Eastern Africa are farmers. But although they're farmers, that's not to say that they are master farmers. They lack training because they are underdeveloped. So if we can get them this training and get their lands and things like that cultivated, is nowhere to go but up. So that's a reason why we are investing in the agricultural sector, specifically in Eastern Africa, and how we make sure that our investments are viable and secure. We are strategically investing in certain places. You know, we're mainly in Rwanda because we know that there's no tolerance there for any you got no wiggle room for corruption. You know, the government does not play with defaulting on any of your promises. So we love it there. So you notice that this is where we are all the time because that is our home base. 80% of our investments, or 75% of our investments, are in Rwanda. Right. But they are diversified out. And not only are they diversified in the locations from the northern province to the eastern province, we are also diversified as far as the cash crops that we deal in, such as honey, such as chili peppers and garlic, quinoa, chia seed. So we're diversifying right now our portfolio of cash crops. So
not to cut you off, bro, but not only are we diversified in our cash crops are also insured. They're insured against theft. They're insured against fire. They're insured against disease. They're insured against locusts. The only discrepancies that our policies don't cover is war, riot, or flood. And being that Rwanda and the Eastern African community is so stable right now, that's a far-fetched reality right now. So pretty much, I'm not going to say money is guaranteed, but it I would say 95% guaranteed.
Yeah, it's like a no-brainer. No-brainer. And David is the one who introduced me into this African agriculture. But I was kind of skeptical at first, but once I got there and I seen it, it's a no-brainer. And I don't understand how more people aren't doing this, you know, because I mean, it's a business that's scalable, it's sustainable, it's practical, and everyone across the globe has to eat. That's the guaranteed thing that everyone has to do, eat and sleep. And we're right in there on the investment side of the eating portion. So it's no better place to be as far as I'm concerned, you know.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons that we're making this video right now is because we know we have a lot of procrastinators. I wouldn't say that everyone is procrastinating because we have 36 partners right now. Our goal for 2022 was to have invested in the African agricultural sector $1 million. That was our goal by the end of 2022. We've surpassed that already 3 months early. So not patting ourselves on the back or anything like that, but we've surpassed our goal. So we're well into our target for 2023.
Sir.
Yeah. So we're doing great right now. But what we want to do is urge anybody who's riding the fence, because we know that the returns that we're giving are unsustainable. Okay. We're giving 30, 40, 50% returns a year. And the reason we're doing that is because of our interest in our community to bring us up above board as it relates to the wealth gap and the income gap. So we've been denied the chance for so long to make the money that the top 1% is making, but now we have that opportunity. So the reason we keep circling back, telling you guys to quit procrastinating and to come on, like right now, David and I, we've made it. We've already done it. We're doing it. We're riding this chuck wagon train, and it doesn't back up. But even though we don't back up, we can pause for all of you guys who are not aboard to come aboard. Because I want to talk for 1 second about the returns that we're giving being unsustainable. It is. How could you give 30, 40, 50% returns a year? Those are the returns that we're making. We're giving it all back.
We're giving it all back. You don't even make those returns in the stock market, family. You don't even make those returns in your 401k, family. Continue, Chris.
Yeah. So if we're giving it all back, what is the what's in it for us? You know, what's in it for us? That's why I say it's unsustainable. No one is going to make the profits and continue to give it all back. We realize these profits are huge. We realize they're unsustainable. So that's why pretty soon we're going to be restructuring. We're not going to continue to give out something that's unsustainable. I'm sorry I keep saying that word, but we can't. We'll fold if we do that. But we're doing it for a specific reason, to give all of you guys the incentive to come aboard. And we understand that everybody don't have the means. Everybody don't have the resources. And we would love to tailor our program to where it doesn't require such a high partnership, and we're going to do that. But right now, that's not the case. So we're talking to everybody who's on the fence. Get off the fence. It's time to get in. It's time to put up or shut up, because right now, we don't know how long this thing is going to last. We do believe from our perspective it'll last 10 to 15 years, but
it's going to last longer than that, family. Agriculture is the only sector that has been rising steadily.
Of course it'll last longer than that.
Beginning of the time.
I just don't want to overshoot. I want to stay conservative. Let everybody know. Stay conservative, basically.
Absolutely.
So it's like, okay, if you're working a job, that's perfectly fine. We all started off working jobs. That's the American way. We must start off working jobs. There's no other way. But to a lot of people, if you don't, for lack of a better term, say shit or get off the pot. That's what they say. But it's unfortunate that we see so many people working up into their 70s. You're supposed to retire at 65, 67. We see so many people working until their 70s and they can't retire. And even after they're done and they call themselves retiring at 70, they're not retiring. They turn out to be Walmart greeters.
Family. And where we have to understand all the misconceptions that we've been hearing about Africa, all of the stereotypes that we have been hearing about Africa, has literally been taking money out of our pockets. We as Black people all over the planet, no matter if you're in America, South America, Germany, Russia, we as Black people from Africa who has been raped, robbed, and exported and transported all over the country, we are the rightful owners of Africa. So all these stereotypes have been literally taking money out of our pockets. Literally.
And not saying that our program is 100% specific for Africans of the diaspora. It's for anybody. But the first group that we're looking to rise up out the trenches, because we've been at a deficit from the start of this thing. Everybody else got a head start. So the main group that we're looking at bringing up out the trenches is Africans of the diaspora. But obviously, our partnership package is open to the world. We have actually 2 people right now who are not of the African diaspora, who we've embraced, but we want it to be three. But we want the main core group who's going to benefit to this to be the family. So if you're any way skeptical or any way on the fence, just do your research. I urge you. You know, we're building this thing. We're all our social media handles are going right now: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever the other ones are. We're all there. So we're building this thing, and we just want you to come along for the ride. And it's not going to be there for a long time. Let's just say that, you know. So we're here for you now, and come join us.
And not to talk down on anybody who was a Walmart greeter. The only reason why my brother made that analogy is because before my mother retired and my father passed, she would always say that she might have to go be a Walmart greeter just to sustain. You know, right. So we would always think about, like, man, we don't want moms to go be a Walmart greeter, you know, just to be able to sustain through her retirement. So not talking down on any Walmart greeters or any greeter anywhere. Sure. You know, we're just saying that we don't want to work 40, 50 years and have to turn around and go back into the work environment, you know?
And speaking of 30, I don't want to keep drawing this video out because we've wrapped up the message that we were giving to you guys. But speaking of 40, 50 years, you know, I had a social media interaction, you remember, with a friend of ours. And he was throwing out some numbers there saying that, I believe, and don't quote me on this, saying that if you were 18 years old and you began to put up $250 a month, by the time you were of retirement age, which was 65, you would have $1.8 million saved up, you know, and we found that laughable because if you have to wait from 18 to 65, what is that? 48.
A lot of years.
That's 47 years to build up a $1.8 million nest egg. So we kind of intervened, went in there and talked some crap back and forth. And we told him, if you partnered with Harmony Village 100 for the minimum investment or the minimum partnership, after only 30 years, you would have $17 million if you continued to reinvest. And that was a one-time partnership contribution of $5,500 that you would have $17 million in 30 years. So why would you want to work all of your life, put $250 a month aside every month to only come up with $1.8 million after 47 years? Come on, that's absurd. So we're gonna end it there. We're not gonna take up much more of you guys' time, but you get the point. So come and join us, Harmony Village 100.
Yeah.
Harmony Village 100.